Good afternoon, West Ham fans. It's match day. It's Sunday. And it's West Ham versus Nottingham Forest. You'd have caught my match day this morning. If you're not, go back and watch it. I got up nice and early for you guys. As per usual, if you're new out here, give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, give it a bloody good subscribe. Now, before kick-off, a couple of hours before, we always try and put together our starting 11. Obviously, for the David Moyes press conference, he alluded to the fact that it was too early for Zuma to, whether he knows that Zuma's going to be fit or not for the game against Forest. So we don't know what's happening there with Zuma. But apart from that, a clear bill of health. There will be a few knocks and bruises from the Olympiacos game, that's for sure. But let's jump into it. I think it's gonna be fascinating to see what happens. He could go completely back to type, or he could progress with this new way he's had in the last two cup games. He did it against Arsenal, didn't he? He played Kudus and Bowen as an interchanging striker and Paqueta, and then Brentford went back to type. But I don't know whether that was back to type because of the fact of Alvarez and Paqueta were both out the side. Now they're both back into the side. Does he keep that momentum going and keep that side going? Let's talk about it, shall we? Let's talk about it. So, Forest, we know Forest got 5 players out, including Chris Wood. Thank fuck for that. But they've still got other players. Tanu Iwani, who I love as a player, who I want at West Ham as, if you want a Mikel Antonio, Mark II, Tanu Iwani is the man for you. Had a great run of form when he was at Union Berlin. Not so much at Liverpool, but he's unfortunately typically getting into form now at the wrong time for us. Fabianski, great game. A clean sheet for Fabianski. I actually drove next to him pretty much all the way to Hornchurch before he probably went to the posh parts, Emerson Park probably, and I had to go to the Hornchurch. But waved. He seemed happy. Obviously, captain. 100% record as captain this year in his games, but I'm going to put Areola back in the sticks. He's the Premier League goalkeeper. Areola and Fabianski is the cup goalkeeper. I think Emerson is. The back four relatively easy to pick. Emerson, I think again comes back in, so keeps his place rather. I think Mavropanos comes in. And I think Vladimir Sufal stays his place as well. All that side have been playing well at them. I think Vlad. That's that back four. It's good to give him a bit more game time as a back four. Obviously, the goalkeeper changes, and that is a slight issue because you need your back four and your goalkeeper working in unison. And I think when you're chopping your goalkeepers, chopping and changing the goalkeeper, so to speak, it's not you do change things. Things do change. Now, obviously, Tommy Suchek didn't start. We had. Okay, let me just pick what I want to happen. Let's pick what I want to happen in the easiest sense. I think JWP keeps his place. I think we sort of played this sort of two back to the sort of two at the back. But I didn't like the fact that Alvarez was getting forward quite a lot. I preferred JWP getting forward just because I think JWP's not as good as its defensive midfielder as Alvarez is. So for me, I'd rather Alvarez and then JWP a little bit forward. But Alvarez, he can do the job. And actually, when he was at Eredivisie, when he was at Ajax, had one of the highest progressive runs or something like that for a central midfielder. So he is in his locker. I think he probably, ideal. Okay, let's pick my ideal world. Welcome to my world. I think Paqueta is wasted on the left-hand side. So for me, he comes in at that 10 spot. I'm going to give another go to Benny. I thought he played okay, not spectacular, but played okay. Kudus, for me, I think another game under his belt will help. And then I'm going to stick Bowen up top. Now, the only trouble is with Bowen up top is he's not going to play there for England, is he? So what will happen is, I think, and what happened quite a bit yesterday, actually, and actually I think Bowen was more effective yesterday's game. They sort of realised it was actually on the right-hand side. Obviously, Antonio could come back. Thomas Suchek could come back. Thomas Suchek might come back, and then Paqueta goes onto the left-hand side, and Suchek goes. He might actually do that. Actually, thinking about it out loud. He might do that. As much as I don't like Paqueta there, and I mean Suchek's not really a 10, but he's sort of in that position. But it's like let's try and figure it out. This is what I would like to happen. Like that, and like that. Something like that. That's what will probably happen, actually, thinking about it. So I've gone with a mixture of what Moisey will do and what I prefer. I don't want Antonio anywhere in his starting lineup. I want him on the bench. The fact was, he didn't come on yesterday for the... what is it? He didn't come... Oh, giving away when I recorded this. He didn't come on Thursday when... And even Danny Ings and Barmer came on, which, again, surprising. Why... And Cornet's like, why didn't Ings come on? You think he would have been an obvious choice. Because for Moyes, because it always is an obvious choice. You've got Mbama came on, as I said, Cornet came on. So some unusual substitutions and minutes of people. Fornals didn't get a run on, but I think that is probably right. I think that's what probably happened. I think Suchek will get the nod just because the last couple of games, I think when we played with two, we seem very, very light in midfield. When Alvarez is pushing forward, JWP just hasn't got the physical presence, I don't think, to command that role. So, with Suchek, Alvarez, and what's his face, and JWP, that three, and then the front three is interchangeable. So sometimes Paqueta can go up top, Kudus can drop to the left hand side, or Bowen can drop to the left hand side. They can switch. Actually, Kudus and Soufal had a bit of nice partnership on Thursday. Obviously, Bowen and Kudus have a better partnership. No, Bowen and Soufal have a better partnership. But that's what I think. What do you think? Put it in the comments below. Obviously, Zuma might come in and replace Mavropanos potentially. But that's what I think is the 11. We'll find out in about an hour or so time when the teams are announced. But until then, take care, stay safe, stay warm, stay humble, keep the faith, my friends, and come on, you bloody, bloody Irons. Irons!